What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Flock. And today we are going to be previewing the Ravens versus the Lions. I am super nervous about this game. I think that this is going to be a dogfight of a game. It's two Super Bowl contenders going at it at the bank. Prime time. I will be wearing the exact same jersey because it's black. I'm at the bank, and it's always a crazy environment when that you stepping into. But I'm gonna be looking at the preview for this game, my thoughts on it, some of the storylines, looking at all that. So let's jump right into it as we have our blackout, and now we have everything that we need to know for this game. Let's look at what the Ravens are saying. So obviously it's a 15 game at M&T Bank Stadium, and here's the history. And this is kind of what I want to talk about and why a lot of Ravens fans are cocky. We lead the series 6-1 and are undefeated in Baltimore. And that's why a lot of people are like, man, like, it's gonna be an easy game. Like it's gonna be the same thing that we saw last time, 38-6. And I get that. I get the confidence. They're 1-1, we're 1-1. But I think that what we're not remembering is they just put up 52 points versus the Bears. I don't care if it's the Bears. Like, that's still an NFL team. It's not like they're a college team. You put in 52. We scored 41. That wouldn't have even been enough to beat the the Lions if they put up 52. Like you're still losing by 11. And I think that they have receivers, they have running backs. We have to stop the run game, and they had the run game going. The Browns did versus us in the home opener, and you know it's a little bit problematic. Obviously, their receivers weren't doing much for Cleveland. We was locking them up. There was a lot of times where their receivers, not to name names, thought that they were open, but guys could have easily cut off throwing lanes. And obviously, we got a little bit of pressure to Joe Flacco, but I don't think we're going to be getting that same pressure on Goff. And I think that, you know, the big thing is we don't really have great great CBs yet, like corners. We don't have great cornerbacks yet. So this is going to be a lot closer than people are saying. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Obviously, Lamar 21 to 22 for 357 is crazy, and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Obviously, Andrews had a huge game. Jackson was doing it, and this was the big thing. Goff was sacked 5 times and threw a pick. We got to Goff. He's not great under pressure. That's the big thing. We don't have guys to get there. Matt BK is hurt, probably not gonna play. That's a big issue. So not having those guys, obviously Mike Green's gonna have to step up and be the guy. And I think not the Ravens not going out and getting Clowney when he's sitting on the couch and letting Dallas pick him up after you saw what happened in Buffalo was crazy. Like he was a part of the reason that they got to him 5 times. He was on the team at 23. So you let Clowney just sit there on the couch, nobody sign him, and then for a whole week, and then eventually the Cowboys are smart enough to say, hey, we need somebody else off the edge. That's also the Ravens' problem. So not having that is huge. I think it's going to be closer. Obviously, both teams looking to continue momentum. Clearly, this is a time where you need to kind of start pulling away from teams. You want to be 4-1, 3-1. Start pulling away from your opponent so that you can get that home field advantage. So every game is important when it's such a small, um, a short season. Like there's not a lot of games to be played. So everyone matters. They lost by 14 to the Packers and then put up 52. So a lot of people were saying, obviously home opener, it's a revenge game. Obviously their offensive coordinator goes to the Bears. They then play the Bears, and they did lose by 14 to the Packers. But I think the Packers are fantastic. Go check out my tier list video. They're also contenders. So the Packers look good. The Packers are a contender too. I get it, they lost by 14. I just don't think that it's gonna be a blowout. This is a big thing everybody is talking about. He has the highest. Lamar has the highest QB rating in NFL history. And that is crazy because he just apparently can't throw. But when he throws the ball, he gets the job done. And a lot of people will argue QBR, right? Like, it's a stupid stat because somebody can be like 10 to 10 and have a perfect QBR. But if you're throwing the ball 10 times and you get it done 10 times, but you have a run game and are finding ways to win, QBR just means how effective you are as a quarterback, right? Just because your team's not throwing the ball a lot doesn't mean that you're not a good quarterback because you're completing your passes. Now, obviously, I think when you're throwing more passes, that can be a problem when you need to. But we saw Lamar have to really throw the ball versus Cleveland, and he got it done and had a high enough QBR to have the highest career in the NFL. So obviously, it's not that much of a stupid stat as people say. I think that's a misconception. But I think that they're talking about interceptions and all that. I think that they're gonna do this. Will the Lions load up to contain Derrick Henry? Yeah, put the pressure on Lamar. He might deliver, but there's a possibility he doesn't because things happen. And do I doubt that he's not gonna deliver a great game? No, I just think that the defense is gonna have a problem. But if I'm Cleveland, I'm stopping Henry first and making Lamar throw it in the air. And then once he proves, then you make adjustments during the game. You have to be reactive with Lamar because he's just such a good QB. You can't do one thing. And I think this is so true. D Hop is going to be a huge X factor. If he can show up like he did for Cleveland, they're going to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like the Ravens are going to be putting up numbers if D Hop can. Lamar will be putting up past numbers if D Hop can do what he did versus the Browns. I mean, he came out and went crazy. And I still can't. Awuzie, I believe. I believe that's how you say Awuzie. He needs to step up. He got burned a couple times in that Cleveland game, and we saw it. But he has to be there, and Roquan needs to keep doing what he does. I think that he's gonna have to be very impactful. I actually agree with this. I was gonna make my own, but these were the 3 players that I had picked to be difference makers. But this is not gonna be a blowout in any sense. It's gonna be a close game, probably decided by 3 points, and we need the crowd to be into it. We need everybody to step up and get their job done. And you need to play 4 quarters of football. None of this bullshit. Play three and a half quarters of football and think, oh, we up enough. We can sit back, relax, put our feet up. None of that bullshit. You gotta play 4 quarters and you can get the job done. But I think it's gonna be very close. And if the Lions win this, it'll be because they deserved it. Same way the Buffalo ended up beating us. Everybody being like, oh, well, we only beat ourselves. Buffalo got lucky. No, they did what they needed to do when we beat ourselves. We beat ourselves, put them in a position to win. They won. I stand by that. So it could be the same situation with the Lions. They need to play 4 quarters of football. Lions are a fantastic football team. And I think that it's going to be a very close game. Let me know below. Do you think it's going to be a blowout? Do you think that the Ravens are going to, 38-6, 28-7? Like, is it going to be a blowout? Let me know what you think below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram for more Baltimore sports content. We will see y'all in the next one. Peace.